Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Books and Bytes. Today, we're diving deep into a book that's been making waves. It's Yellowface by R.F. Kuang.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's a wild ride through the world of publishing, but with a dark twist.
Oh, yeah. This book doesn't hold back. It's a thriller, but it's also a really sharp commentary on ambition, jealousy, and the whole question of who gets to tell what stories.
Exactly. Like right from the beginning, we meet June Hayward. She's a struggling writer, and she's got this deep envy for her friend Athena Liu. Athena is like the golden girl, successful Asian-American author, everything June wants to be.
You can just feel that tension between them. June is constantly measuring herself against Athena, and it's eating her up inside.
There's this one passage where June describes her envy as a physical thing, a knot in her stomach that tightened every time she saw Athena's name in print. It's so vivid, you can practically feel her resentment.
Oh, absolutely. And that resentment is like the fuel that drives June's actions. It leads her to make some really questionable choices.
Well, it all starts to spiral out of control when Athena dies suddenly. Freak accident. And June is the only witness.
Talk about a turning point. But what's interesting is how June reacts. You'd expect grief, right? But she seems more focused on how Athena's death might impact her own career.
Yeah, it's almost like she can't process the grief. She pushes it aside, and her ambition takes over.
It's like her ambition becomes this shield, protecting her from facing the reality of the situation.
And then comes the big twist. June stumbles upon Athena's finished manuscript, a novel about Chinese laborers during World War I.
And this is where things get really complicated, because June decides to steal it.
Yeah, she decides to publish it under a fake name, Juniper Song, a name that suggests she's Asian.
Wow. Kuang really dives into the whole cultural appropriation debate here.
It's like she's holding up a mirror to the publishing industry and asking some tough questions about authenticity.
And who has the right to tell certain stories?
Exactly. June tries to justify her actions by saying she did all this research.
But is research enough? That's what the book makes you think about.
Right, like can you really understand a culture just by reading about it? Or do you need lived experience?
And it's not just June who's complicit. Her agent is all for the name change. Thinks it'll help the book sell better.
Yeah, and even her editor. While she starts out supportive, she ends up suggesting changes that kind of water down Athena's original vision.
It's like the whole publishing machine is focused on marketability, not necessarily on telling the most authentic story.
Right. It's about creating a product that will sell. And sometimes that means sacrificing the truth.
And that's where the title Yellowface comes in. It's not just about June pretending to be Asian. It's about this whole idea of packaging and commodifying a culture.
For profit.
Exactly.
And that's what makes this book so unsettling, because it forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths about our own society.
And the lengths people will go to for success.
Yeah. It's a story that stays with you long after you finish reading it.
Definitely. It makes you think about the books you read and the stories we tell each other.
And who benefits from those stories.
Yeah.
It's a deep dive into some murky waters.
But it's a dive worth taking.
I agree. It's a book that sparks a lot of important conversations.
For sure.
And I think that's what makes it so powerful.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking for a thought-provoking read, I highly recommend checking out Yellowface.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed.
It's a real page-turner.
And a mind-bender.
All right. Well, that's it for our deep dive into Yellowface for today, but we'll be back soon with more insights. So stay tuned.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And you know what's interesting? It's not just June who's putting on a Yellowface. The whole publishing industry is kind of doing it too.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like you're packaging the book.
Exactly. They're marketing it in a way that, well, it kind of plays into those stereotypes.
So it's like they're complicit in the whole deception.
In a way, yeah. They're more concerned with sales than with, authenticity.
Right. And all the while, June is living this lie.
Oh, and it's taking its toll on her.
Like how?
She's constantly afraid of being found out. It's like she's traded her peace of mind for this success that's built on a lie.
And it affects her relationships, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like with her brother-in-law, Tom.
Yeah.
And her writing mentor, Francisca.
She pushes them away because she can't let them get too close. They might discover the truth.
It's like she's trapped in this web of her own making.
And the more successful she becomes, the tighter that web gets.
And then the cracks start to show.
Right. People start to question the authenticity of the last front.
Especially online.
Yeah, the internet is a whole other battleground.
It's like this echo chamber where everyone's got an opinion.
And they're not afraid to share it.
No, they're not. And then there's that mysterious Twitter account, @Athenalius Ghost.
Oh, yeah, that was creepy.
It starts dropping hints. accusations,
Yeah.
fueling the whole controversy.
It's like this phantom voice
Yeah.
haunting June, threatening to expose her.
And it drives her crazy,
Literally, she becomes so paranoid,
suspecting everyone around her.
like she's lost touch with reality.
There's this one scene where June is at a book signing, feeling on top of the world, and then she sees someone who looks exactly like Athena.
Oh, wow. Talk about a mind game.
Right. It makes you wonder, is it a ghost? A look-alike? Or is it all in her head?
I think it's Kuang's way of showing how guilt can manifest. Like, it can distort your perception of reality.
So June is basically falling apart.
Yeah, she's trying to hold it together, but the pressure is mounting.
And she makes some desperate moves.
Like what?
Well, she tries to control the narrative, issues these carefully worded statements.
Trying to spin the situation in her favor.
But it's not working.
The truth has a way of coming out.
And it's not just the online world that's closing in on her. Remember that event at the Chinese American Social Club?
Oh, yeah. That was cringe.
They assumed she was actually Chinese because of her book.
And the whole thing just blew up in her face.
It's like this moment of reckoning where her carefully constructed facade just crumbles.
And her friends start to distance themselves, even the Eden's angels.
I can't believe what she's done.
It's like she's isolated herself through her own actions.
But she's still clinging to this success.
Right. The book sales, the awards, the recognition.
It's like she was trying to convince herself that it was all worth it.
But you can see it's a hollow victory.
Like she's trying to fill the void with material things.
Buying expensive clothes, going to fancy dinners.
But it's not enough.
No, because the guilt is still there, eating away at her.
And then there's this other weird twist.
What's that?
Right-wing commentators start supporting her.
Oh, yeah. Talk about strange bedfellows.
It's like they're using her.
To push their own agenda.
Exactly. And June is so desperate, she'll take support from anyone at this point.
Even if it means aligning herself with people who completely disagree with her views.
It shows how messed up the whole situation has become.
And how easily people can get manipulated.
In the pursuit of fame and recognition.
It's a cautionary tale.
For sure.
It's almost like June's become this pawn in a bigger game.
Yeah, it's like everyone's using her for their own purposes. And she's so caught up in the whirlwind, she can't even see it.
And then just when you think it can't get any crazier, Kuang throws another curveball.
What's that?
It's not about June's plagiarism anymore. Now people are going after Athena.
What do you mean?
This anonymous Twitter account pops up, at No Heroes, No Gods, and it starts accusing Athena of being a Han supremacist.
Whoa. Like saying she excluded other Chinese minorities from her work.
Exactly.
Wow, so the whole narrative shifts.
It's like Kuang is forcing us to question everything, even our assumptions about Athena.
And it's not just online. Even June's friends are talking about it.
Yeah, that whole group chat with the Eden's angels, it shows how these online controversies can spill over into real life.
And how they can divide people.
Even those who think they're on the same side.
It's like everyone's got an opinion.
And they're not afraid to voice it.
Even if it hurts people they care about.
Yeah, it's messy.
And through all of this, June is struggling.
Oh, yeah. She's having panic attacks, flashbacks to some past trauma.
It's like she's falling apart.
And she tries to get help, but it doesn't really work out.
So she's basically alone.
In a way, yeah.
Even though she's surrounded by people.
It's a lonely kind of success.
And it makes her even more obsessed with controlling the narrative.
Right. She starts writing this new book
Mm-hmm.
about her relationship with Athena and the whole Yellowface scandal.
Like she's trying to rewrite history.
Exactly. Trying to make herself the victim.
But it also gets kind of creepy.
How so?
She starts talking about Athena's ghost haunting her, like seeking revenge.
Oh, wow. It's like her guilt is manifesting in this supernatural way.
And it drives her to confront Candace.
Candace.
Yeah, remember her. Athena's best friend.
Oh, right. The one who has Athena's notebooks.
Yeah. June wants him back.
But it doesn't go well.
No, it ends badly. They get into a fight, and June falls down the stairs.
Ouch.
Yeah, she's seriously injured.
And while she's in the hospital, Candace goes to the press.
Whoa. Talk about a power move.
She tells everyone about June's plagiarism and about the
Wow.
notebooks.
So June is totally exposed.
Yeah, her reputation is ruined. Her career is over.
And the book ends with her alone, haunted by her choices.
It's a bleak ending.
But it makes you think,
About the price of success.
and the consequences of our actions.
And whether it's all worth it in the end.
I think that's what makes Yellowface such a powerful book,
It's not just entertainment, it's a challenge.
to examine our own values.
And to think critically about the stories we consume.
And the people who create them,
It's a book that stays with you.
long after you've finished reading it.
Well said.
And that's our deep dive into Yellowface.
It's been a fascinating discussion.
I agree. I hope you all enjoyed it.
And learned something along the way.
We'll be back soon with another book.
And another deep dive.
Until then, happy reading.
See you next time.